Well, good afternoon, everybody. And it is Monday, May 18, 2020. This is Edina Mayor's Minute, and I'm your Mayor, Jim Hovland. And first of all, I want to show you what I got in the mail over the weekend, came to my office today. This is a mask from the Green Machine from the Dyna Robotics team at the high school. I notice my glasses are fogging up as I talk about this. Got it in the mail from Lori Shimizu, who's one of the coaches. I think it's really a well done mask, and it's fun to have something related to the robotics team, which has done such a wonderful job over the years and in helping other teams and also being successful themselves. So fun to get that. And I think they're probably going to be selling them. You might want to follow up on that. If somebody wants contact information, get a hold of me through the city and I'll connect you up with Lori Shimizu and see if we can raise some money for the robotics team with these masks. And then now today, we want to talk a little bit about what happened with the governor. We've gone from the stay-at-home order now having expired after a couple of months, and the new order is called Safer at Home. What it means is essentially that we've got a little bit more freedom of movement. Gatherings of 10 or more, or 10 or fewer people, I should say, are permitted. And so we are acting accordingly. And as a result, Edina's ban on group play was lifted today. So groups of 10 or less are going to be able to start using the parks in a different way. We were concerned about that for a couple of months in terms of the social distancing, but as the governor has relaxed things, we are following suit. So several of the park amenities are reopening today. That includes playgrounds, taking all of that fencing from around the playgrounds away so kids can use the playgrounds. The pickleball courts that are so popular over at Roslyn, one of the things we worried about over there was people sitting next to each other waiting to play. The social distancing wasn't a problem for even doubles, but waiting your turn to play was a problem. So we've got that solved with a new waiting area that accomplishes that social distancing. And then some of our full-size basketball courts are also going to be open. So we're going to let people start playing basketball again. Now, remember, these park amenities are not going to be disinfected. So if you're going to gather in groups of 10 or fewer and play some of these sports, make sure you bring your own hand sanitizer because we're not going to be able to deal with all of those issues. And then restrooms, we've had quite a few emails over the last month or so about, gee, why can't you keep some restrooms open? We are going to reopen some restrooms today. Those park restrooms that are going to be reopened are at Bredesen, Roslyn, and Pamela Parks. And so that's a good thing. And I think that'll be helpful to people that are out walking that need to use a facility. And then we'll open more restrooms on a phased in sort of approach as soon as we can effectively deal with all of the sanitation and disinfection of those facilities. But also keep in mind that these facilities aren't sanitized after every use. So you want to make sure there, I think you have your hand sanitizer with you as well. And of course, I think most folks know this that have been outside enjoying the trail system in our parks and our open spaces, that they've remained open during the entire pandemic. Our park ambassador program that we set up to deal with groups that were gathering and playing sports when that was a bad idea, that have had so much success in interacting with groups. They're going to continue their work with park users to help educate groups on the new guidance measures. Recreational users should not participate in groups of more than 10 people. And I guess if you were from the same household, we might have some latitude there. Make sure that you adhere to the social distancing and appropriate hygiene practices. And I want to tell you all that who have loved being outside, it feels so important to do. We really appreciate the community's patience and cooperation while the ban was in effect and the playgrounds and bathrooms were closed to slow the spread of COVID-19. We're all really proud of our park system, and it was hard to see those parts of the parks unused as we tried to comply with the governor's executive order. So let's continue to follow these guidelines. Let's continue the social distancing. The data still show that it's going to be late June, July before we hit the peak. So be careful out there. Be safe. Stay strong. and follow along with us as we dial up the use of our parks. This is Jim Hovland. This is your Edina Mayor, and that is your Mayor's Minute for Monday, May 18, 2020. We'll talk to you tomorrow.